Hare Krishna. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yashodanandana Brajjana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajjana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajjana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajjana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari, Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Hare Krishna. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद्-भागवतम की जय, शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय. All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiryet Shavatam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shamana Kirtanaha Hridayantasto Bhadrani Vidunoti Suhasatam Nashtaprayasha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Hare Krishna. So, in the last class, we covered Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 8th canto, chapter 23, as how Bali Maharaj, he had surrendered his life and he was sent to Sutala, which was even more opulent than Brahma Lok and Indra Lok. And how Lord himself resided. And since we covered that class right after Raksha Bandhan, so we also covered that the first Rakhi, like the sisters, they tie Rakhi on the hands of their brothers for the protection, was tied on the wrist of Bali Maharaj. And who tied it? Goddess Lakshmi herself tied it. So we covered some of those aspects. They were very auspicious time, just before the day. And today, we'll be covering Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 8th Canto, chapter 24, Matsya, the Lord's Fish Incarnation. We'll cover the very first verse, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam 8th Canto, chapter 24, first verse. Shri Rajo Vacha Bhagwan Chotum Ichhami Hare Radbhuta Karmanaha Avatar Kathamadhyam Maya Masya Vidambanam. Shri Raja Uvacha, King Parikshit said, Bhagwan, O most powerful, Shrotum, to hear, Ichhami, I desire, Harehe, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari, Adbhuta Karmanaha, whose activities are wonderful, Avatar Katham, pastimes of the Incarnation, Adyam, first, Maya Matsya Vidambanam, which is simply an imitation of a fish. Translation by His Divine Grace, Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Maharaj Parikshit said, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Hari is eternally situated in His transcendental position. Yet He descends to this material world and manifests Himself in various incarnations. His first incarnation was that of a great fish. O most powerful Shukdev Goswami, I wish to hear from you the pastimes of that fish incarnation. Purport: the Supreme Personality of Godhead is all-powerful, yet He accepted the form of an uncommon fish. This is one of the 10 original incarnations of the Lord. Hare Krishna. Mukham karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripatadham vande Shri Gurum Dīnataranam. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. So in this chapter, there are 3 important incidents that are covered. I'll summarize the incidents first, and then we will cover also some stories told by Srila Prabhupada and also from our scriptures as how they help us understand these pastimes and get into the inner meaning of some of those aspects. Hare Krishna. So, first is when this request is being made, somebody can say, how is it that, there are only 10 incarnations being identified by Parikshit Maharaj, while in the first canto itself, the 3rd chapter, the various incarnations of the Lord had been identified earlier. Then it's very important to realize that here Parikshit Maharaj is asking Shukdev Goswami about the 10 main incarnations, and the first incarnation among those 10 is Matsya Avatar, the fish incarnation. The Lord incarnates as a fish, and not a common fish. It's an uncommon fish. The word used in the purport is as an uncommon fish. And we'll see that uncommon aspect. Yet at the same time the question arises, how, while so many incarnations were being identified, Shaktavesh avatars, Yuga avatars, Manvantara avatars, and so forth, why Parikshit Maharaj is talking about the fish incarnation? It is because in the first canto, most of the conversation was between Sutta Goswami and the sages at Naimisharanya. And it was Sutta Goswami had described all those various incarnations to the sages at Naimisharanya. And here, Maharaj Parikshit, it was the description of, what conversation happened between Shukdev Goswami and Maharaj Parikshit, that was continuing, and that was further narrated starting from 2nd canto in Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam by Sutta Goswami to the sages in Naimisharanya. And here, Parikshit Maharaj, after hearing Vaman Dev's incarnation. And what was the characteristic of Vamandev's incarnation? The dwarf incarnation. And what did he ask for? 3 steps of land based on his steps. And how big were those steps? He expanded, right? So now when the expansion comes, like Lord expanded his body and he was able to cover the whole universe. This intrigued Parikshit Maharaj because he knew about Matsya avatar. Yet he still wanted to hear about the glories of Matsya avatar. And just like there have been many incarnations of Varahadev and, Nrsimhadev and so forth, there have been many incarnations of Matsya avatar. Lord incarnates as Matsya, as fish. And 2 of them have been narrated in this particular chapter by Shukdev Goswami. So Shukdev Goswami, before starting, means again he identifies that Lord incarnates for various, in various avatars in the lower form of life, animal, aquatics, and humans and so forth. And even in the, as demigods and so forth, he appears. And what are the reasons of his appearance?
For 3 main reasons.
Yes, for 3 main reasons. Paritranaya sadhunam,
To have loving exchanges with the devotees.
to have loving exchanges with the devotees, to protect the devotees. Paritranaya sadhunam, vinashaya cha dushkritam,
To annihilate the
demons, to annihilate the demons, and dharma sansthapanarthaya, to establish the principles of religion. Sambhavami yuge yuge. And then, in the first canto, it is clearly identified, Ete cham skalaha pumsha krishnastu bhagwan swayam, indrari vyakulam loke mridayanti yuge yuge. So Lord appears in various incarnations, but Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he appears Indrari for to subdue the enemies of Indra, to protect the demigods because they are devotees of the Lord. They surrender to his order and they obey and continue to rule and administer their life under his directions. So he comes to protect his devotees. Paritranaya sadhunam, that's the main reason. And as Shukdev Goswami continues, so again he talks about 2 Matsya avatars. First one is during the reign of Swayambhuva Manu. And in verse 37 it is revealed that actually these 2 avatars happen during the daytime of Brahma, but because Brahma falls asleep, they are considered as night of Brahma. One happens during the reign of Swayambhuva Manu, because Swayambhuva Manu was cursed by Agastya Muni. And this is given in Matsya Purana. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has given an elaborate commentary on that. And of course the purports in this chapter cover that as well. Srila Prabhupada reveals it to us. And then the second incarnation of Matsya Avatar occurs during the reign of Chakshusha Manu, where the 3 worlds are inundated and Lord appears to please and save his devotees, Satyavata, King Satyavata. And this King Satyavata is a great devotee of the Lord. He is constantly performing austerity and sustains his life only by drinking water. That's the characteristic. He was so devoted that just engaging in his devotional service, he was able to subdue his life just by drinking water. And to save him, Lord appears as Matsya Avatar, and even Lord Vasuki, the snake Vasuki also appears to accompany the Lord and engage in this pastime. So those are the 2 incarnations. And then the third aspect that is covered is that as Lord appears, he carries out 2 main incidents with King Satyavata. One is the uncommon fish aspect that we'll be covering, and the second one is how the inundation of the 3 worlds, Bhur, Bhuva and Swaha, takes place, and Lord saves Satyavata and the 7 rishis and various living entities along with the trees, seeds and herbs. Hare Krishna. Now, it's very important before we start this session to also know what the blessings are. Generally, the blessings are given at the end of the chapter. But it's very interesting that the blessings in this, we cover it just so that for the benefit of the listeners, they can focus on listening the blessings given in this chapter. So, the verse 59 reveals, Satravatrasya Rajarsher Maya Mata Yasya Shranginaha Samvadam Mahad Akhyanam Shutva Muchyeta Kilbishat. This story concerning the great king Satyavrata and the fish incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu is a great transcendental narration. Anyone who hears it is delivered from the reactions of sinful life. So yesterday, during the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam class, we were also covering as how, just by engaging in devotional service, because of the various activities that we perform in this material world, there are different reactions, good or bad reactions. And the seeds of those reactions get fried, so they don't fructify. And even the ones that have fructified, they are reduced in their impact so that we only get a scratch instead of getting a whole arm cut off. So Lord is so merciful that just by engaging in His service, one is saved with such great dangers. And Lord reveals in Bhagavad Gita, Neha bhikram nashya prativaya na vidyate swalpam asya dharmasya trayate mahatho bhayat. That any engagement, even a little bit of engagement in devotional service does not go waste and can save one from great danger. Trayate mahatho bhayat. Can save one from grievous danger and fear. Now somebody can say, wait a minute, so how does saving from fear happens? This can be supported with a story where it just so happened that one person, a Muslim person, he was going on a pilgrimage to Mecca. And when he was on his pilgrimage to Mecca, he met another personality traveling with him. So he inquired, who are you? And the personality said, I'm cholera, the disease. So this person was shocked, like, why are you going to Mecca? He says, I'm going to kill 500 people there. So he's surprised further that cholera is going and will kill 500 people there. So he takes all precautions not to get killed. However, 2,000 people dies in Mecca. The cholera spreads and 2,000 people die. So when he's returning back, he sees the same person, cholera, traveling with him. He said, you said 500 people, but you killed 2,000 people. That's like 1,500 more than 500. How is that possible? Cholera said, no. I only killed 500. The other 1,500 were killed by fear, pointing to another personality traveling with him. So fear is, that's why in material world, the living entities, and especially in the animal kingdom, we see the lower species of life. The basic needs that they are looking is eat, sleep, mate, defend. To protect themselves from fear as well. The security, defense is because we have fear. We have fear that do we get food, in time. We have fear, will we get clothes in time. We fear that will we have a house to live in and so forth. So they're constantly, Maya is putting fears in our mind and creating so many thoughts and causing miseries, right? The one, the misery is caused by mind. They are mainly driven by fear. So here, whoever hears it is delivered from the reactions of sinful life. So will be delivered from sinful life, not just the reactions, but also will be purified. So as by engaging in devotional service, one gets purified and engages in the good deeds. One should not take this as a chance saying, okay, I have a clean slate, I can start my sinful activities again, starting today, now that my sinful life has been washed off. That should not be the attitude. The attitude should be, Lord has been so merciful that by singing His glorious name from activities, pastimes, I am delivered from the reactions of my sinful life, so let me engage in the service of the Lord. Like yesterday in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam class we covered, Ete chams kalaha pumsa, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam is like Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Like we covered 1 to 6, which is where the devotion service is to be followed without any interruptions and without any motivation. Also earlier, this fish incarnation, again at the end, I would like to read the last verse of this chapter because Srila Prabhupada made some specific instructions in that particular verse before we continue with the narration. Pralaya praya siddhatur supta shaktir mukhebhyah Shruti gadam api nitam prayutpadat hatva Ditijam akhadyad so brahma satyavratanam Tam aham akhila hetum jigmaminam nato asmi. Translation by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who pretended to be a gigantic fish, who restored the Vedic literature to Lord Brahma when Lord Brahma awakened from sleep, and who explained the essence of Vedic literature to King Satyavrata and the great saintly persons. Purport. Now the purport is very important here. Here is a summary of Satyavrata's meeting with the fish incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu's purpose was to take back all the Vedic literatures from the demon Hayagriva and restore them to Lord Brahma. Incidentally, by his causeless mercy, the Lord spoke with Satyavrata. The word Satyavratanam is significant because it indicates that those on the level of Satyavrata can take knowledge from the Vedas delivered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Whatever is spoken by the Supreme Lord is accepted as Veda. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Vedant Krit Vedavit, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the controller of all Vedic knowledge, and he knows the purport of the Vedas. Therefore, anyone who takes knowledge from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, or from Bhagavad Gita as it is, knows the purpose of the Vedas. Vedaschasa ve aham eva vedyaho. One cannot understand Vedic knowledge from the Vedvādratas, who read the Vedas and misconstrue this subject matter. One has to know the Vedas from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purpose of the 8th canto, 24th chapter of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, entitled Matsya, the Lord's Fish Incarnation. And then further Prabhupada writes, this commentation has been finished on our New Delhi Center today, the 1st of September 1976, the day of Radha Ashtami, by the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the Acharyas. Srila Narottam Das Thakur says, Tandera charana sevi bhakta sane vasa janme janme haya ei abhilasha. I am attempting to present Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam in the English language by the order of my spiritual master, Śrīmad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And by his grace, the work of translation is gradually progressing. And the European and American devotees who have joined the Krishna consciousness movement are helping me considerably. Thus we have expectations of finishing the great task before my passing away. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga, end of the 8th canto. So here Srila Prabhupada is giving glories to Guru and Gauranga and even to his disciples because they were really engaged in helping with this translation. You know, when Prabhupada was doing the translation, he was recording it on a dictogram, and the devotees would hear the dictogram and write the, as Srila Prabhupada had recorded it. They were writing it, and they had to revise it multiple times before making this happen. And 8th canto was finished in 1967, as we heard, 76, sorry. In 1976, on the day of Radha Ashtami. And we have Radha Ashtami coming next week on 15th of September. So that's another auspicious appearance day coming that we look forward to. So here, continuing with the narration, as is given, the Lord appears to kill the demon Hayagriva during the reign of Swayambhuva Manu. So Swayambhuva Manu is given in Matsya Purana. was cursed by Agastya Muni. And because of that curse, Lord Brahma felt sleepy. So this sleep happened during the daytime. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has given elaborate commentary as how, the Lord, appeared at that time and why, during the daytime. It was not during the night of Brahma, it was during the daytime of Brahma that he felt asleep. And that's why it's considered as night of Brahma, where the three worlds were inundated. Hare Krishna. So, during the reign of Swayambhuva Manu, it just so happened that when Lord Brahma felt sleepy, and as he went to sleep, the Vedas, he started reciting Vedas. And there was a demon by the name Hayagriva. And that demon immediately started hearing and absorbing that knowledge of the Vedas. And it's very interesting that we see similar examples in today's world where the materialists, they want to know what are the secrets and they've tried to use it in their own, initiative for sense gratification. So here, Srila Prabhupada clearly identifies that you have to hear the instructions from the Supreme Personality of God and understand the purport. Because Lord knows the purport and He can, give it to us. And when we serve our spiritual master, we understand the purpose. And Srila Prabhupada, as our preeminent Shiksha Guru, is giving us his wonderful Bhaktivedanta purports, which are full of transcendental knowledge that we can hear from and, follow as his instructions. So as this demon Hayagriva refers to, a horse-faced demon. And sometimes there is confusion that whenever we hear the word Hayagriva, we only think of the demon, whereas there has been an incarnation. Lord Hayagriva also appeared. So again, there is a separate pastime we will cover later. So here, this demon Hayagriva, he was stealing away the Vedas as Lord Brahma was, in his sleep he was reciting and the Vedas were coming out from his mouth. And at that time, Lord appeared as Hayagriva and killed this demon. Lord appeared as Matsya, as fish incarnation, and killed this demon Hayagriva. And restored the Vedas to Lord Brahma. He gave it back to Lord Brahma, when Lord Brahma woke up. So that is the first incarnation. And as Shukdev Goswami continues, means again, he starts that even though Lord appears in lower life forms, and in case of fish, it is a very painful life. There is a saying that the fish is always thirsty. And even, there are various writings that describe that pani mein meen pyasi sun ke mohat havat hasi. That the fish is constantly thirsty while it resides in the water. Just by hearing this, I laugh, So that is the case, and it's constantly a miserable life, When you're thirsty, you can imagine if you're in a desert and you're feeling thirsty, how would you feel, right? It's a very miserable situation. While a fish, while it's residing in water, is constantly thirsty. Can you imagine what her situation is? What her plight is? She has water right there. She is residing, her environment, her surrounding, her habitat is all water. Yet it is constantly thirsty. So here, Shukdev Goswami is revealing to Parikshit Maharaj that when Lord appears, he is not touched by Maya, he is not touched by any of the miseries. He is above the Maya. Maya Dakshina Prakriti Suyate Sa Characharam. So, Lord has revealed in Bhagavad Gita that Maya is under his instructions. She is, following his instructions, serving him, and not vice versa. Shri Shri Gauranitai ki jai. Shri Shri Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Janand Kore Vaishnavind ki jai. Hare Krishna. And then Shukdev Goswami describes as how Lord is not touched by Maya, rather Maya is constantly serving him. And those who don't understand this means again, people who worship the demigods, their results are temporary in nature. And they miss out the main essence of the Vedas. But those who follow and hear about the name, form, activities and pastime of the Supreme Personality of God are the most fortunate. And was also accepted by Parikshit Maharaj earlier, that the most fortunate of the ones, he said that I am the most fortunate because I get to hear about these pastimes from you, Shukdev Goswami. And he refers to Shukdev Goswami as Bhagwan, the most powerful one. Then the second Matsya avatar, Shukdev Goswami describes, occurs, he says that once during the reign of Chakshusha Manu. So in the previous kalpa was Swayambhuva Manu. And then came Chakshusha Manu. And during the reign of Chakshusha Manu, there used to be a great king by the name Satyavrata. He was king of the Dravida Desh, South India. And he was constantly performing austerities and sustaining his life only by drinking water. So those were his, he was constantly, meditating on the Lord and engaged in devotional service. So Rajashri means the saint among the kings. That's what is sometimes referred to such kings. And this king Satyavrata, once he was, offering water in the river. So in the river, you pick up water and then you offer it to Surya Dev and to Pitras and so forth. So there are different, ritualistic performances that are done. So before bathing, there was a custom that you offer it back to the, water, but also offering it to the Surya, sun god. So as he picked up the water in his palm, he saw a small fish that came in his palm. So he put the water back, he put the fish back in the water. Not offering, but just releasing so he can pick up another, fish full of water. So as he drops the fish back in the water, the fish says, "Oh king, why are you dropping me in this ocean? This ocean is filled with ferocious aquatics, and I'm just a small fish, they may eat me away. So why don't, please give me protection." And being a Kshatriya, Kshatriyas have this duty that one takes shelter of them, they provide them protection. And it's nicely given by Shukdev Goswami says, to please himself. So he's pleasing himself because he is following the religion of a Kshatriya to give protection to other living entities. He takes that fish and puts it in his water pot. Now as the king puts it in his water pot, it's said that he pleases himself, that he is following the religious principles. And after making the proper water oblations, taking the bath, he brings the fish in the water pot back to his palace. However, in one night itself, overnight, the fish has grown in size so that it cannot adjust in the water pot. So the fish says, "O king, this water pot is not a suitable reservoir, place for me to live in. I can't even fit properly, so why don't you put me in a larger reservoir of water?" So at that time, the king, it said, throws the fish in a well. However, in a moment, so that, the size from a small fish to the size of the water pot, the fish had gained overnight, but in a moment, the king sees that the fish has become 5 feet long and is not able to move comfortably in the well. And the fish says, "O king, this well is not the proper reservoir. I can't really live here. Why don't you put me in a larger reservoir, in a lake or something?" So the king picks up the fish and then puts it in a lake. And just in front of his eyes, the fish expands in size, so it's not comfortable in the lake also. And the fish says, "O king, even this lake is not sufficient. So you should put me in a large reservoir of water that does not, reduce in its capacity of water." The fish puts her in a larger lake. Puts the fish in a larger lake, and again the body expands in a moment. And at that time, the king picks up the fish and throws it in the ocean. So at that time, the fish says, "O king, why are you putting me in the ocean? Because there are ferocious creatures in the ocean who can harm me." At that time, the king, understanding that this is none other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Previously, he was pleasing himself, thinking that he is following the ritualist principle. He had failed to recognize that the fish is, an incarnation of the Lord. He immediately, responds appropriately. He says, "Oh, who are you? You must be the Supreme Personality of Godhead, because I have never heard of or seen a creature who has expanded so quickly." Now there's some similarities. As the fish is expanding, there's some similarities. Like when Vaman Dev was given the 3 steps of land, his body expanded as well, right? So again, that's why there is very much similar occurrence between this pastime and the previous pastime. And that's why this fish incarnation is also referred to as uncommon fish in Srila Prabhupada's translation and purport. So the king is saying, "Oh Lord, what is the purpose of your appearance in this fish incarnation?" And at that time, the Lord reveals himself and says, "O king, 7 days from today, after 7 days, the 3 worlds, Bhur, Bhuva and Swaha, will be inundated with water." So there will be a devastation. And, however, you will be saved. So I'll send a boat, and you should get the 7 rishis, collect the trees and herbs and seeds, and with various living entities, you should get on board, And so you will be saved, because I will be guiding you through that time when the inundation would happen. And as, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has also given, and also given in Matsya Avatar in commentaries, that this happened during the daytime of Brahma when he went to sleep. And the Manvantara, the clouds that throw, once again we also hear about the Giridhari pastime. So when Lord lifted the Govardhan hill, at that time also, these clouds that, poured rain. So the drops are as big as the size of a column. So realizing that in 7 days the whole world will be inundated, the upper planetary system, middle and the lower. The kings, he places his grass, the kusha grass, in the direction of the east, and he sits facing northeast, meditating on the Lord and his words, waiting for that time. And soon the rain starts. And, the water level rises, starts taking over the land. And just so happened on the 7th day, as per the instructions of the Lord, a boat approaches the king, so in the direction, the king along with the 7 rishis, the brahmanas, the various living entities and the seeds, herbs, he gets on board this, And then, as he gets on the board, the brahmanas, bless him, and then they say, "Oh king, please meditate on the Supreme Personality of Godhead." And as the king meditates on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Matsya Avatar, the Lord, fish incarnation, the Lord appears in as his fish incarnation, and this fish incarnation has one thorn in its front. So he had already provided instruction to King Satyavrata that you should use Vasuki as the rope and tie, the boat to the horn of the fish. So, with great effort, King Satyavrata ties Vasuki, the snake, as a rope. He ties the boat to the horn of the fish. And then the Lord, as Matsya, he guides the boat to the time when Lord Brahma wakes up and the creation continues. So this is not during the night, it is considered as night. And in Laghu Bhagavatamrita, Rupa Goswami also provide extensive description. Hare Krishna. So as, Rupa Goswami is continuing to describe as how Lord saves Satyvrata at that time, and he's guiding the boat. King Satyvrata starts reciting wonderful prayers in glories of the Lord. He says, "Oh dear Lord, you saves us from the various forms of miseries." And people who are in false ego, constantly going through miseries and trying to rely on their own strength, they're constantly bewildered. However, the devotees are constantly under your shelter, are taken, to the proper destination, are able to go back home, back to Godhead. And just hearing your name form activities pastime is so glorious, and we are so blessed that we are able to cross over this material world and go back home, back to Godhead. So as King Satyvrata is reciting these prayers, and this is where Shukdev Goswami provides the blessing that one who hears this narration attentively will be freed from the reactions of his sinful life. Yet by hearing, also we realize that how it will purify us and help us understand and meditate on the Supreme Lord. Now in this 8th canto, and previously we had covered 7th canto, it's very interesting that we covered the 5 incarnations, the main incarnations of the Lord. Here the first fish incarnation, Matsya avatar, has been discussed, where the 2 avatars, pastimes were discussed. One during the reign of Swayambhuva Manu, where Lord appeared as Matsya to kill the demon Hayagriva. And in the second incarnation of Matsya, he appeared Paritranaya Sadhanam to save King Satyavrata from at the time of annihilation or inundation of the 3 worlds. Then the second incarnation, do you remember what the second main incarnation is? It's of Kurma avatar. So we covered earlier in 8th canto as how the churning of the ocean happened, and Lord took the incarnation as Kurma, turtle, tortoise. Then the third avatar is Varaha avatar. We covered in 7th canto as Lord appeared as Varahadev and killed Hiranyaksh. Then 4th avatar is Nrsimhadev avatar, where Lord appeared in 7th canto, we covered earlier in the classes, as how Lord appeared and killed Hiranyakashipu and saved Prahlad Maharaj, his son, Hiranyakashipu's son, Prahlad Maharaj. And then the 5th incarnation is Lord Vamandev. So we covered Vamandev as well in this canto, 8th canto, as Lord appeared not just to regain Indra, his kingdom, but also to show the determination of, the firm determination of Bali Maharaj, and to show his glorious position as how he had developed the love of Godhead, and to bless him with Sutala, and also with his constant association and protection by Sudarshan. And Sutala is a place where there is no miseries. There are no miseries. Shri Shri Gauratai ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan ki jai, Shri Shri Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Kori Vaishnavinda ki jai. So this is where it shows us that when one faithfully hears, Savaya Pumsam Paro Dharmo Yato Bhakti Adhokshaje Ahatuki Apratihata Yayatma Suprasiddhati. Savaya Pumsam Paro Dharmo. The topmost occupation of mankind is Paro Dharmo. The topmost is translated as occupation, occupational duty of human being. Yato Bhakti Adhoksha is to engage in the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Ahatuki apratihata. And such devotional service should be performed ahatuki. Hetu means by some motivation, by some cause, but without any cause. It should be performed unmotivated, just to please the Lord, not to please the self. And apratihata, it should not be interrupted. So it should be constant meditation. So that's why we say regulative principles, because they are regular. So such is the case, and we would cover some other wonderful stories next time. Because of the time, we have to end the class early. At this time, one of the most important things is we should constantly hear, chant, and sing the glories and meditate on the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Srila Prabhupada gave a very simple mantra for this, just raising our hand and chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Anant Kori Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Go Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.